Hello everyone and welcome to round 1 of the Suncats v Cosmic Express game here. We are here on Gold Rush as Cosmic Express has taken to ANS and Suncats is on OSP. Cosmic Express consisting of Highball, Calmia, Quiz, and Quinto. Suncats is Colin, Jack, Sunflower, Lobster, and 3 Cats. You can see the teams begin to deploy here on Gold Rush here. Not a whole lot of deployments from Suncats yet. It looks like Cosmic Express does have a lot of their ships out already here. See, some of them look like they're going for this hole at A. Mostly a lot at C2 here. This is pretty normal. This is pretty normal for ANS. ANS does like attacking the C side here. OSP typically goes heavy E and hangs out around this part of the map. We will see if 3 Cats does that as well. We have a capper for the B point here. It does look like Quiz is playing their cap fleet, which is really no surprise. Quiz is a very, very strong cap player. We will see what they bring to this tournament match. Not a whole lot of ships on OSP here. Very interesting. Perhaps they're not all deployed yet. Oh yeah, here they are. Here we have some more ships deploying here. Looks like they are deploying the heavy DE area here, as you kind of expect from OSP. Yep, fairly standard, just based on the tracks here, fairly standard setup for both teams on Gold Rush. It's like the third time the timer's gone away. Both teams very much discussing their deployments here. A lot more than most other teams in this tournament so far. Oh my god. Are they doing this on purpose? Guys. Both teams strategizing incredibly heavily before the game even begins here on where to go. Timer finally running out. We are deploying here. That's a battleship. Looks like guns and S2 backpack. We will take a look at this when we go over the teams. Looks like Cosmic Express electing to bring a 450 BB. Interesting. Oh, there it's a 3K BB. Calmia brings a 3,000 point battleship. Spyglass. Quad track correlated. This is an Overlord. 450 guns, ammo elevators, Raider, Dragonfly, Whiplash. What is in that launcher in the back? We have 39 S2Hs. More than 39. We have more S2Hs, different types here. Some S2s, some SDMs, and some active decoys. Look at that. Effective. You got some comms jamming for soft kill, extra antenna here. Not a lot of flak, mostly just defenders on this thing. Alright, we will see what that does. Highball bringing a double Axford fleet, 450 Greedfords. Mark 61s on the side here. What do we have in the VLS-2? We have active decoys and SDMs, Naganantas, double Raider, Whiplash. The other one with the carrier backpack, it's currently launching a Halberd, has another one in the hangar. They are, what radar do these things have? Parallax in that one, and Parallax in the other one by the looks of it. Very interesting. Quinto with the classic triple gun voxel fleet here. Whiplash, just a Whiplash drive in these. Rapid Cycle Cradles, does this have rebounds on it? It does! Look at that! Rapid Cycle Cradled rebounds, very based. Chaff Launcher in the back. Second one also has a Chaff Launcher in the back, and it looks like they have rebounds as well. What's the last one have? Rebounds? Oh, there's a lot of rebounds in these. Not a lot of ammo elevators, but enough rebounds to, or enough Rapid Cycle Cradles to make those rebounds incredibly deadly. Bullseye on this one and jamming on the others. No comms jamming and no S2 SDMs on these. We will see how that works for them. On to Quiz. Has the cap fleet, as I expected. Quiz is an insanely good cap player here. We start off with a goalie beamstone here. Dragonfly double FPA, very nice. Couple police frig group here. Looks like we got one and... Nope, just one wing of police frigs with the escort. We have a, I'm assuming, Spyglass missile orbital range up here. Looks like 4 campers as well. 1 gun, 2 guns, and 2 cringe cappers. Missiles out. These are EO Wake S3Hs out on the ECAP already. Looks like they're trying to do that early deny, and I haven't even gotten to what OSP brought here. 3 Cats has a fleet carrier. No restores, no damage control, but we have a lot of craft in here. We will see how they, how this works for them. That is also a power drive in here. What needs the power on this? No reactor. That would be why that they have a power drive. CIC basic. This is a very skeletal fleet carrier. Make sure you keep that hidden there, 3 Cats. Colin Jack has a gun cello here with aux steering in the front. Citadel CIC. Regular, no, not regular drive. That's a reinforced drive. Frontline Scryer. It is currently flying in formation with Lobster's monitor ball here. Very nice. The soft kill and point defense on this Acello will keep this monitor ball relatively safe from missile strikes. It'll make it very, very difficult for Alliance to land good missile hits on that ball. Colin Jack also has, it looks like MMTs here. Yep, 1, 2 MMTs, and it looks like some various gun cappers around the map here. Looks like we're running a little bit of a half cap. Sunflower has a fleet carrier as well. Oh dear, this one's a little bit more reasonable. It has actual restores in it, and a reactor. Definitely has less in terms of, like, strike craft and stuff compared to 3 Cats, but at least it can actually survive getting shot at a little bit. Pikes and halberds on both of the fleet carriers as well for support. Are they doing the... Oh, no, they're doing the, oh, God. They're doing... Suncats has brought back the halberd combat air patrol strategy from the first game they had with CPU Hard. Each been at the A point here as one of Quiz's cringe cappers gets jumped on by the monitor ball. SDM's out on Hornet Squadron, which was in the area with R1 rockets, probably looking to deny the A point. They lose a large amount of their squadron there as the ships try to invade into a rock here. Only 1 ship left on Hornet. Is it going to try and go for a strike? It is in combat high burn. I do not know if it's in combat because it's trying to evade or if it's in combat because it's trying to kill that capper there. At any rate, it's too late as the cringe capper manages to take the A point despite being under fire here. Alliance with the early 3 cap here securing A, C, and their natural B. OSP afraid of the missiles from this frigate up here. Do not step onto the E point until now. Cringe capper on A finally goes down here. Those monitors in their 100 mil laying into that capper there, making sure that it does not get out of the cap after it takes it. Voxel's down here pushing with the police frigs. It's like they're getting some RPF fire into the various squadrons that OSP has in the area, trying to knock them out with RPF before they make it back to their carrier. The MMTs with a missile strike on the Voxels, not the Voxels, the frigates. That's 2 Auroras on this this frigate here. That is more than enough to deal with those S2s. Orbital battleship cresting this rock here, starting to put some fire into the monitor ball along with these Axfords. The experts looks like they're taking the brunt of the fire, but with 2 radar drives, these things can orbit dodge really effectively at this range, and you can see they're on orbit orbit command already. More SDMs out from the battleship. Finding those squadrons, trying to remove them. Those are S2s out on the monitor ball, all HE-shaped. Commands, wake, and commands, wake. One of them has decoys. Aurora's on the Ocello, though. Will it be enough? Looks like it. Doesn't look like any hits land there, although some got really close. Foxhound Squadron gets attacked by SDMs. This is a Naganantas. This bomber squadron is loaded with anti-craft missiles. That's an interesting tactic, and definitely not what I was expecting to see. Here's a more realistic bomber squadron. Graveyard Squadron with 16 Spearfish. I'm assuming Tyrant also has 16 Spearfish. Yes, and the KBU-22 bombs. Very, very deadly strike here. It looks like OSP has spotted all of these capitals that ANS has up here and is trying to get bombers out to strike them. The Axfords are in plasma range as the monitors begin to put plasma down range. Oh, these monitors are pushing into 2 frontline fleets on OSP, taking a lot of fire. The voxels down here, if they can get crossfires on those monitors, that's going to be very deadly. OSP here doesn't really have much in the terms of frontline, only really the monitors and that Ocello. Those fleet carriers really need to start getting strikes on these Axfords and battleships before they chew through these monitors. You see here, they're already starting to take some quite significant damage. I say quite significant, and then it's only a rapid DC dead. I should just stop talking. The Axfords taking fire in return here. The orbit dodging is starting to become less effective as the range begins to shrink here. Less room to dodge the incoming fire. The battleship, however, is just completely... It's not being fired at all. It has missiles queued up, presumably for those monitors. The Ocello, though, is attempting to push up with the monitors, making sure that its Auroras and comms jamming is in range to ensure that they stay alive. That is a squadron of 8 of these combat air patrol halberds here. Double flechette turrets on these. Will these be enough to shoot down incoming missiles? We will see. Doesn't look like they're close enough to be vectored onto target in that case. The Auroras on the Ocello do manage to shoot down that salvo before it gets in. Blacksmith. It looks like Blacksmith is trying to cover Graveyard Squadron. Graveyard Squadron was one of the ones with 8, and they were reduced to 2. What hit these things? Presumably, all the SDMs from the battleship in this frigate here. As yeah, Graveyard Squadron is just reduced to 1 remaining. Some more S2Hs out on the monitors here. The Auroras are very effective against S2Hs. But here come the voxels from below. That's 250 AP coming into the bottom of these monitors here, and that's going to start adding up really quickly here. A lot of firepower going into just 1 fleet here. OSP has got to start getting those carrier strikes out on those capitals, or they're just going to lose their entire frontline fleet here, as it's just out and exposed, pinned between 3 massive fleets here. Tyrant Squadron taking heavy damage here. Almost all the ships here, at least to some degree, damaged. As the massive amounts of SDMs that ANS has just completely overwhelming the battleships here. The monitors swap fire to the battleship here, starting to land some plasma hits into the nose. Battleships are very tanky with those aux steerings in the nose. This thing is going to survive quite a while before it starts taking any significant damage. The Axfords have mostly withdrawn here, perhaps seeing the squadron of 7 bombers and electing to try and withdraw to safer areas. Perhaps trying to use rocks to avoid getting struck. Tyrant Squadron, though, still 7. They're pretty heavily damaged, but they are on top of this first Axford here. Strike is out on the Axford. This is a Greedford, has no flak, only defenders. Massive hit into it. Tyrant Squadron does lose a couple more of their numbers, but do manage to get their bombs out. The other Axford does move into range to try and get its defenders to help, but those bombs look like they will hit. And that is one. This Axford is mission killed. Nothing but an Ox steering and a Whiplash drive. No restores. That is exactly what OSP needed to happen. OSP needed that to happen. Needed to reduce ANS's front line to ensure that their monitors stay alive here. Although, that being said, one of the monitors going down. One of them heavily damaged, and the other's not looking all that good here. The monitors have swapped fire to the voxels here, perhaps recognizing that, perhaps trying to take out the most vulnerable target first, making sure that they reduce the damage going into them as much as possible, as soon as possible. 8 halberds just flying into enemy RPF range. Not entirely sure what they're doing all the way out here. There are no fighters for OSP to strike against with Blacksmith. So perhaps they're just scouting, potentially? Goblin Squadron, R1 strike onto this police frigate here. Lands a couple strikes, but only a couple R1s is not going to do a whole lot of damage. They do manage to knock out one of the Mark 64s, but this thing has restores. It can bring that back online fairly easily. More missiles out on the monitors. The Ocello, though, is still in position to defend the monitors with the Auroras. Very nice positioning from Colin Jack here, making sure that Ocello is always in range of the monitors, defending them from incoming missile fire. That is exactly what you want to see out of the Ocellos on OSP here. Cap situation remains unchanged since the beginning of the match. ANS still managing to hold on to that 3 cap. There is nothing over by C or B that can contest those points for OSP. Although, that being said, there is a cap ship here on the B point here. Starts taking RPF fire from one of Quiz's gunships here. And I do believe that Quiz is going to unfortunately outgun this this shuttle here. This shuttle, I do not believe, is going to survive long enough to take the point here. Yeah, Quiz has reinforcements in the area as well as their missile ship up here. It looks like B is very heavily defended. 2 fleet carriers, quite the gambit from OSP here. They really need to start getting those strikes into ANS's capitals, like, immediately in order to justify that decision. But unfortunately for them, their front line is already just completely crippled up here. Only 2 combat-effective monitors remaining. The other ones are just... yeah, the other ones are just cored completely by the crossfire from the Voxels and 450. Buzzsaw Squadron is a Spearfish bomb strike out. Bunch of SDMs... that is a lot of SDMs out as Buzzsaw immediately goes into the defensive here. Talon doing its best to defend the bombers, but unfortunately, I think that was way too many SDMs for Talon to deal with, as Talon, yeah, half those bombers gone already. The massed SDMs from ANS here proving incredibly effective at dealing with not just 1, but 2 fleet carriers. Calmeo's battleship and Highball's remaining Axford remain almost completely undamaged here. Quinto has taken some damage from the monitors, although not really a whole lot. These Voxels are still fully combat effective. One of them losing one of the guns, although that can be restored. Checkmate Squadron cresting the rock here, perhaps going for the battleship. And what was left of Buzzsaw Squadron somehow manages to launch a successful Spearfish strike on the battleship here. Knocking out 2 of the guns. That is not bad at all for only having 2 bombers. This battleship here is still able to just bring this all back online. You can bring the large DC locker back online with the restores. Further strikes are required to neutralize that battleship, but unfortunately, I think it might be too late as OSP's front line is just completely crippled here, hiding behind a rock, unable to push. Colin still managing to hang on the B point here. Their cap ship here still alive, still dealing with this gunship here. That is a basic CIC. If this gunship can get some lucky hits into the sprinter here, it might be able to knock out the CIC. Checkmate Squadron flying right through all of that RPF, trying to get to that battleship. losing 3 bombers already from that massed RPF. S3H is out into this MMT here. This MMT is already crippled. It will not be getting out of there alive. Although those missiles all unfortunately hitting the area on this MMT that has nothing in it, dealing no damage. Checkmate launches Spearfish from long range against the battleship. Battleship opens up with its massed defenders. Able to shoot them all down. Checkmate taking so much fire, it's forced to launch at long range. And there goes all of the... Yep, there goes the entirety of Checkmate Squadron.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
Although the battleship is out of SDMs here. We shall see if the 2 carrier players have enough Sturgeons to capitalize on that. But it looks like 3Cats has all of their Sturgeons out. Sunflower is out of Sturgeons. All of the bombers are gone. All that's left is this squadron of 4 from 3Cats. ECAP being secured by ANS. One of Quiz's cringe cappers here managing to get onto the point here, although this MMT from Colin Jack is going to have something to say about that. Lands all 4 missile hits into this thing, and it is done. ECAP is defended, but unfortunately for OSP here, they still are a cap down. They need to cap a point pretty soon here. Their front line stepping out from the rock, engaging the voxels here. Looks like they're trying to use this rock to isolate which fleets they're engaging, although the battleship and the Exford move back around to start putting fire downrange into the Ocello. Perhaps recognizing that the Ocello is the ship that's defending the monitors, but Quiz has the beam! The beam goalkeeper on C pushes forward to get a beam into the side of these monitors. That is unfortunate for Lobster here, as this monitor is just going to get cored here. There goes its drive. And it is done. It is out for the count. Lobster down to 1 combat effective monitor. The beam goes into the Cicello here, pouring out the center stack. That CIC Citadel eating a lot of damage here, although unfortunately I don't think it's going to be absorbing enough damage to save the Cicello here. Drive goes down. That is a fuel line fire with a warp speed debuff of 68%. That might just kill this thing. That might be a fuel line fire that this ship cannot repair. Magazine is gone. Both of them are. Drives are down. This Cicello is crippled here. Just going to be sitting duck for that 450 fire. OSP electing to bring the massed carriers, although unable to get the strikes they needed into ANS's frontline in time, as their limited frontline over here just gets isolated and just crossfired by all of the guns that ANS brought. R1 strike out from Falcon Squadron on this, that was not R1s. What were those? Oh, those were R2s is what those were. That would explain why this Keystone is dead. Successful strike from Sunflower out on this Keystone here. Manages to... Yeah, this Keystone is not getting back up. No restores, no drive, no reactor, no beam. This Keystone is mission killed. Although, unfortunately for OSP, too little too late, as it's already pretty much crippled the 2 remaining frontline fleets that OSP has. The Ocello fuel line firing... Massive damage to that poor Ocello there, as this Ocello I do not think is ever really going to be able to get back up. Yep, starting to lose some DC there. Under 450 fire from the Axfords and battleships. S2H's deployed onto the A point, onto this MMT, which was trying to sneak onto the point here. The Voxels, however, do have something to say about that. The S2H's will also hit this poor MMT. Not doing a whole lot, all the damage going into reinforced modules in the top, the Hunters, the CIC, and the MAG absorbing most of the damage here. However, this Ocello is in the perfect position to finish off this this poor MMT here. Firing HE into it instead of RPF, but this MMT is unable to dodge, so that that 250 HE will start hitting and will start doing quite a bit of damage. Follow-up missile strike. The track gets lost at the last moment as the last 2 miss. Question is, will this Voxel be able to kill this MMT quick enough before it caps the point? This shuttle's still somehow alive on the B point. I have no idea how this thing is still operational. Being hounded by 2 ships here. Takes out the mag on one of Quiz's gunships here. Although, unfortunately, its guns are readied in turn. Neither of these ships can shoot at each other right now. I should have been watching this fight. What the hell is happening here? Anarchy launches a spearfish strike on the Voxel here. Defending the A point cap. Those bombs are out. This Voxel is CIC down. As those bombs are going to finish this thing out, OSP manages to take the A cap here. Very impressive strike there. Python Squadron. KBU-22 bombs rounding the corner here, perhaps looking to finish off this keystone here. They probably don't know that this keystone is already mission killed. That is, 20 KBU-22s that are about to probably go into this already effectively dead ship. Yeah, it looks like Python Squadron is lining up on this keystone here. OSP taking no chances with this thing. Dude, they do not want this thing to get back up. Launching 4 bombs. The Auroras from the frigates, though, managed to take out 1. But it's still enough to kill this thing. Actually, K-kill it. Police frigs stepping onto the C point here to make sure OSP is unable to cap it as these bombers here start getting sandblasted by Auroras. A couple of them split off, start dropping bombs into the Aurora frigate here. This thing needs to start battle shorting or those bombs are going to hit. That's 2 bomb hits and the point defense frigate is crippled. The rest of Python Squadron is free to drop bombs on the actual gun one. More bombs go out into the point defense one, finishing it off. Yep, bomb hits into the one with the guns. As with 1 strike, C point is suddenly open for OSP to take here, and Kolenjak has a ship here to take the point. OSP's front line is completely crippled at this point, although that being said, both teams bled on assets quite a bit here as Quiz has lost the majority of their cap fleet here. Kolenjak beginning to move onto the C point here, recognizing that it is open. This could potentially be a 4 cap for OSP here. Question is, will it be enough to turn the tide of the match? The last remaining combat effective monitor doing its best to defend the A point here. Quiz is sending a gunship onto the cap here. It is being contested by this crippled MMT. Will this monitor be able to kill this sprinter fast enough to protect to defend the A point? We will see.
We are contesting Zone Atlas.
A is being recontested here. The MMT still technically combat effective. Has a gun and a magazine and a CIC. B point being secured by OSP as this hero guns shuttle somehow surviving on this B point for like 10 minutes, steps on, and all that's left here is this Axford that has no weapons. C point being secured by OSP. Is this gonna be a 5 cap? Yeah. What killed this thing? Was that Splinter Squadron? What struck this thing? What happened? Highball Squadron. It had to be them. R1 Rocket Strike. What a turn of events! What just happened? As the script of the match has entirely flipped here. ANS bled of cap assets has left their cap points open for OSP to take.
The enemy secured Zone
ANS's front line needs to start moving on to cap points immediately here. That is a 5 cap from OSP. That is... What a twist here. As Suncats taking it back, taking the cap points. Their carriers completely bled of bombers. They still have plenty of Barracudas around the map to harass the small assets. Oh, but look at this. 3Cat still has a squadron of bombers here that they can potentially use to cripple one of the remaining capitals that ANS has. Yeah, ANS is going to be forced to rush onto these cap points here. We will see if OSP still has enough left in their tank to defend against this push. That 5 cap's going to start adding up really quickly here. And these slow-moving capitals are going to take a while to get onto those cap points. KBU-22 strike out against this missile frigate here. No point defense on this thing, as it is just going to get annihilated here. Quiz is now completely out of assets.
The enemy is securing zone Boxer.
Boxer being re-secured by ANS here as one of Quinto's CLs steps onto the point. This CL will be more than enough to deal with this poor, already damaged gunship as it goes down there. B is going to get re-secured by ANS here. The other Voxel going for the C point here. Nothing over on the C point to defend against this Voxel. They will probably be getting the C point back here too. Axford diving on the A point here. Juggler Squadron. R2 Rocket Strike. Probably not going to be enough to kill this Axford here. Could be enough to cripple it for these monitors to finish off, though. Cobra Squadron here is out of bombs. They are returning to carrier. Jackal still has enough bombs here to run a strike. It looks like they're potentially going for this Voxel here. Or these S2Hs out on the monitors here as the monitors start taking fire from the battleship. Piranha Strike hits the Axford, barely does any damage at all. The Axford's armor absorbing most of that damage. As the Axford starts training fire with the rest of, with what remains of Lobster's monitors here. The battleship giving supporting fire. These monitors are going to go down really quickly here if they don't get support from the carrier. Jackal Squadron gets re-vectored onto the Axford here. This Axford, only one defender in arc. Those KBU-22s might be enough. That's going to be 12 KBU-22s if these Barracudas can get their strike through. RPF going out. The battleship looks like it's moving for the E point here, trying to secure as many cap points as possible. Suncats does manage to pull ahead in the cap game here. Bombs out from Jackal Squadron. Defender trying to clean up the bombs here. Will it be enough? Looks like it will. Defender shooting down all those bombs there. 3Cats readying up a Spearfish KBU strike on their last remaining bombers. Wonder where they're going for. Juggler Squadron attempting to land at the carrier here. ANS re-secures the 3-cap here. OSP needs to start removing these ships that are securing these points and recapping them if they want to win on points. These monitors up here losing this fight rather horribly to the Axford and Battleship. 2 monitors is not enough to deal with that much front line. The Battleship electing to move back onto the A point. Looks like they're trying to redefend it. Calmia perhaps realizing that they do not need to push for the 4 cap. All they need to do is hold the 3 cap, and they will win this. Electing to position themselves closer to their front line to make sure that they provide mutual support for each other against the carrier strikes. Talon Squadron, R2 Piranha Strike collecting over here. Perhaps maybe going for the Voxel on C point? The Expert has moved off the A point, although that's no big deal considering that there are no alive OSP ships around the A point to take advantage of that. Talon Squadron looks like it is going for the Voxel on C point here. Should be worth noted that Cullen still does have a shuttle over here that they can potentially retake the C point with if this Voxel goes down. The score is now even, as it is OSP's game here to remove one of these ships from the board and take a point here. Most of ANS's ships just electing to sit tight on the cap points, recognizing that that is all they have to do to win this game at this point. Stay alive, keep the caps, and they got this. The fate of this match perhaps coming down to whether or not C can be retaken. But oh no! The shuttle gets caught between the two, gets caught between the Axford and the Voxel here. If it, oh, I think it's gonna get killed before the strike happens, yeah. Unfortunately for OSP, even if this rocket strike works on the Voxel, which it missed entirely, oh, that's unfortunate, as perhaps OSP's last hope dies here in this poor shuttle. OSP does have a couple of shuttles around the map, but unfortunately they are spotted and detected. The bombs go out on the battleship, though. One of the spearfish passing right through the battleship. Very interesting. That is a mass bomb strike out on this battleship, but it has a lot of defenders still up. And the bombs miss entirely as the battleship uses the radar drive to change its course. ANS is 75 points away from winning. They hold the 3 cap quite aggressively here. The last of Lobster's monitors going down here. All that's left are the 2 carriers and this gun shuttle here, which starts taking RPF. Its drive goes down. Sundrive in this thing gets killed really easily. As it looks like ANS is going to be securing the win here on caps. S2H is out from the battleship onto this shuttle here, looking to finish it off. Defender starts to fire. It is an arc, although those missiles are going to hit. And yeah, there goes the last asset other than the carriers that OSP has. OSP carriers are way behind the map on this point, way far away from any of the cap points. They are not going to be able to get on the cap points quick enough, and with that, I believe that Cosmic Express takes the first round here. In an incredible back and forth game here. That was very, very awesome. Both teams coming out strong here with very good strategies. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't think that OSP has enough. Yeah. Sunflower's carrier is out of munitions pretty much entirely here. And yeah, that's going to be GG on round 1. As Cosmic Express is going to definitely take this at this point. Sunflower, not to be dismayed though, trying to get one last strike against this battleship. That is 24 Piranha rockets. Not really going to be doing a whole lot. This battleship still has armor left. The armor is going to absorb most of that. Defenders also in arc here. And there goes the surrender. Not the surrender, the points tick out there. As it is now 1-0 in favor of Cosmic Express, and we are on 2 sticks.